I met a gypsy.
That's crazy to think that that's actually what sort of started you looking at the Dakar stuff.
Yeah, it was. When it all got done like that, it was scary. But I was in a good position. Like, I was lucky. I could just come off the 6-day win. If it come off a bad season, you'd be screwed.
Yeah,
I'd be working the apple farm and then probably racing, as a second job, just trying to scrape something in. But I don't know. Like, it's just good. I had good companies behind me, like KTM, that would support me no matter what, or Husky, KTM, they group there, and then had Fox behind me for a long time as well. So they're like, whatever you want to do, like, you go in America, we'll get you there or help you out wherever you can. And that's when jumped into rally, and I was just like, never rode a rally bike in my life. Flew out, September, and because I was changing from Husky to KTM, so I couldn't say anything, couldn't say where I was doing whatever, because you had to wait for the release. And then just ended up in Spain testing a rally bike, and never rode one before ever. And they're like, oh, you're going to be racing Dakar in 4 months, get ready. Never seen a road book, never done navigation before. Learned for 2 days off Geordie there in Spain, which is really good. He's a mega teacher, and everyone sort of learned from him, Tobes and all the team. So he's like the navigator. He teaches everyone all the navigation skills and all that. So went there and then did like 2 weeks testing, went 1 week in Spain with road books and stuff, then went to Portugal, did some road books and tested the new bike, and then went straight to Andalusia and raced my first rally, which was a qualifier for the race for Dakar, which was dirt roads, like rally car spec stuff, no desert at all. And then just did that, qualified for the race, and I was like, all right, next one's Dakar in 2 more months. And it was pretty intense. Then went to Dubai and trained there, and was first. I hadn't even rode in dunes yet, so I rode in Dubai. I hadn't even been to like Robe or bloody any dunes they got in Australia at all. I hadn't even rode in the desert, like still hadn't even been out like race Fink yet. And I'm there doing this high speed stuff, and it was just take it all in and learn as quick as I can, really. And then ended up, what did I do? I think I'd crash. No, what did I do? In December, me and Walken did a road book, and I dislocated my a shoulder on a dune drop, like, I don't know, 30 Ks into the 200K road book we were doing. And then it like popped out on a drop off I didn't see. And then went up to catch up to him. Like it was out, and then I pretty much had to stop and put it back in. Luckily it was good. And I had to ride. That was 4 weeks before Dakar. So I was like, I didn't ride for 2 weeks. And then the next day we went fishing. We were on the boat with, was it Sammy? Sammy's mate took us out fishing, Sunderland, and then Tobes and Walkner. Walkner had never been offshore fishing. And we went out and we're catching sharks and Dorado, those dolphin fish looking things. And I dislocated my shoulder, the same shoulder again on the fishing rod. It just fell off and it slipped out again. I was like, this ain't good. And then it was like a couple of weeks off and rode a little bit, and then raced Dakar with it. So it was probably good. It calmed me down a little bit for my first one, but it was cool, that first experience, because I had no idea what was going into. First time into Saudi Arabia. It was sort of similar to some Dubai. Like I got to figure out the dunes and the shapes and how to ride them a bit, and the flow of the guys, the pace, and then in the race was really cool to do and experience it. Freaking mega. That was the coolest thing I did. Everyone's like, it's hard, and the amount of stuff that happened that first rally at Dakar, I did like just,
because that was a wild one, eh?
Oh yeah, it was a wild ride. I did the first 6 days, the first couple of days, and I was bunking with Walkner in the camper, and he's a weapon of a dude, and different personality to everyone else, like Austrian sort of style, and one of the funniest dudes I know. Like he's just I don't know. We're like really similar in a way. Like we just really want it and work hard for it, and really passionate about it, and like we'll do everything we can to try and do good. And that's probably where we got on. We like a bit of rave music, this and that. So like I can go rave music with him in the morning, just getting amped and jacked up. And he's like to me every day, and Sanders, how is it? It's tougher than the 6 day, and we done 6 days by then. I was like, nah, your body's more sore. Like it's actually not that physically demanding. Mentally, yes, you're drained from the focusing on the road books and like just trying to get your diet right and all that. But like body wise, nah, we're sweet. Like I could keep going full gas like this, and then it just started. Like the next day, I crashed. I just out of nowhere. and that's where I split me lip open. I was bleeding. I was leading like the stage out because I was caught up to the Honda guys or what. Oh, maybe I was second, and I was opening the stage, and I just randomly hit a rock in the dune, and it just tucked my front wheel, and I just was on my face before I knew it, split me lip open, and my front wheel was all buckled. That's on the marathon stage, and then it was all buckled going. I had to tighten it up, and just got blood dripping out. I was drinking me water, it was coming out bottom of my lip, and it was insane. And then I got there, and first thing is everyone's just coming up because they knew I had a crash, and I've got blood going everywhere, and they're like, what's going on? And everyone's just like, let's just grab this content. And I was just knocked out. I wasn't knocked out, but I was like, just dizzy and just drained. Like all my hydration like was gone out. Like it ran out because it split the bladder. And just ran out of food, and you just drain, you dripping blood everywhere. You can't taste anything because it's just blood in your mouth. And yeah, it was a long day after that. It was like 4 hours from that happening to the end. So and then we were at a marathon stage, so we had to work on our bike, so straighten it, kick the crap out of the front wheel, and try to make it as good as possible. And then then walking was like, all right, how is it now? I was like, dude, I'm sore. Like my neck was sore. Like once you have one crash and you hurt your body, you're right and bruised for the next few days.
And then you're compensating, and then everything starts to get sore because of that.
And then like a couple of days later, I think it was 2 days later, after the marathon stage, I got stung by the bee at the end of the race. So that was funny. Like just did the interviews, went down the road. I was looking at the beehives. Like I got some hives at home, and I'm pretty keen into the honey and bees. And I'm looking at the hives. I'm like, fire! They got heaps out here. I'm like, what trees are they in? Like I'm always looking at the flowers, what they're into, and that. Looking at the trees and this and that, and literally I went out like 500 meters from the interviews. One straight off the shield, the windshield on the front of our thing went off, hit my helmet, and went straight onto my lip, hit me. So I just I got to the fuel station, and I'm like walking, I've got a problem. He's like, what is it? And I'm like, my lip, is it fat? And he's like, he just started laughing. And then Sunderland comes over and starts pissing me. So he's like, what happened, dude? I'm like, got stung by a bee. And then I got stung on the arse as well. One flew in. There must have been just heaps flying across the road and that. Like everyone had them all over their bikes, and I just got rolled. And then I sort of had my face mask on for the interviews when I got off. And then no one in the team sort of knew except for a couple of eyes, like, oh, show me your face. And then it just went, whoa, everyone back in, wanted to catch it. And then I couldn't drink, and I was talking like a spastic, and it was pretty funny. I had a bit of Botox that day, and then it just goes viral, that funny stuff. Yeah, I got the feelers going, but yeah, it was pretty funny. And then Dakar can just throw anything at you. Like it's insane what can happen. Like even just that, but just getting lost and you're shitting yourself out there. Like, because you just, especially if you're opening or there's guys in front and you're like, this track should be here. Like surely they're wrong or whatever, but you missed a section and you're like, you missed a note or something like that, and it just blows your mind. Like you have to be focused as soon as you start that stage, well, the whole day really, and then just full double checking things, always looking at the road book, checking the terrain, focusing on all that. Because you don't know, you have so many oh shit moments when you look down. You're like, all right, just quickly check because you got your cap, just like your degrees on the right, and then you got your left as your kilometers, and then you got your road book paper just below that on the left. So you're matching up your kilometers to the digital one to your road book. So you're like, all right, how much further? All right, a couple more 100 meters, and then like that moment is when you're flickering down, looking at your phone on when you're driving or something like that, and you hit just a rock in front of you, and your wheel just it just shakes at 120 k's an hour, 30, and you just like shivers all three. Like imagine if that was bigger, or
just
like,
rattled.
You're just like, oh, all right, just double check, like before you look down, make sure it's good. Like, and when you look, take it all in. Don't just look at it quickly, and like, because you look down 10 times for the time, it's a memory thing as well. So it's like pretty hard to do.
Is it the craziest thing you've done on a bike? Like, is it as gnarly as, because you've done, I think that's one of the cool things about being an enduro rider is you just do so many disciplines. But is it the gnarliest thing you've done?
If you want to send it, like if you want to go balls to the wall in the dunes, in the rocks, 100%. It's just how much you want to risk your life, really. It's just if you want to be into it, you got to be comfortable. Like dudes are watching me train, like it's changed a lot from the last,
because that's what it seems like the last couple of years. It's just a send fest.
Pretty much whenever Tobes come in and brought that speed in from when he started in 15. And like when Coma was racing then, like Tobes had that speed over Coma, but it was more of that was when the water boy thing was in. So it's just like no one can pass Coma.
Yeah.
Coma's the golden child. Everyone's got to, let him lead the stage. He can choose when he gets to open like that when you won. But now it's just like all for all. That's when I first come into the race, the team for the first year. I was like, I ain't no water boy. I ain't sign up to carry parts for someone or do this, donate something to my bike. If I'm racing, I'm dead. I'm leaving my home for 6 months to train for this race, and I'm finishing it. I'm not going back just to, if it's a big problem and that, like, and if it's early on in the race, then it's their fault. But at the end, I'll try and help if someone needs to win for sure. You're there for it. And but yeah, that's what I said from the start. I was like, I ain't going in like that. And that's where it's changed a lot. Like when Tobes was in, it was Tobes or Walkner, Sam. Like when Coma went out, it was like, all right, it's free for all. Anyone can win. Yeah. And that's where Tobes just set the speed, and he was just dominant then. Like he had that advantage over everyone. And that's the first year. That's where he just dominated a few stages and had that breathing room, and it's just crazy like that. Like now, and that's where the speed started, and everyone's like, all right, from Honda, we have to get to that speed. Like Beretta was there from Honda, like he's the fastest dude as well, but everyone just goes, oh, he's going to make a mistake, do something stupid, crash out like he normally does. So everyone's like, oh, just wait for that day, and it normally happened until this year. I don't think he did anything stupid. I think he was pretty good and finished I think he got lost day one like some guys did. So but yeah, like he's insane pace. So it's always like, all right, you can gauge off Beretta and Toby from where your speed's at in rally. And then that's where, now I was like, when I'm training and testing, I'm hitting whoops flat out. Like people were watching my videos when going into this year's Dakar, and I was riding around the sand dune motocross track on a rally bike like it's nothing. And dude's like, you don't race Dakar like that. And I was like, all right, you jump in a chopper and you watch me for a stage and tell me I don't ride like that. Because all the chopper footage I got this year is me full send on a track. I don't even see dropping off things, jumping things, hitting rocks like it's nothing, because I'm confident in my riding skill and my ability to ride this bike. I'll ride it to the limit because, it's my life. You risk to where you're comfortable with. Yeah. So, and that's where I was so confident this year in my riding and the skill of the bike set up. I was like, I just knew that I was going to be, I've got the best bike set up. If I had more top speed, then it would have been even better. But you got to, you can't have everything perfect.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.